Okay, here's the scenario. You've been playing as Nation X and have been defeated by the NCR, but by some miracle you weren't annexed but were instead puppeted by them. So what do you do now? Do you restart and try again, or do you fight for your freedom? If you decide to carry on playing, you're in for something special, and that is a NCR generic puppet focus tree like this, as well as some decisions to help you gain your freedom. But some nations take this a little bit further, get a unique branch added to it, as you can see here. Now, if my research is correct, there are 4 nations that get an extra little branch, and they are Baja, the Rapids, the Sky Reavers, and Umbra. My favorite 2 of these nations is the Rapids, which lets you build a surprisingly strong navy for such a small nation, and the Sky Reavers, which lets you dive deep into the whole Area 51 thing. Now, to explore this NCR generic puppet tree and take a look at one of the unique branches, I've decided to play as the Rapids, now known as the Los Algodones territory. Geez, I hope I said that right. To set this up, I've gone back in time to the end of episode 2 of my NCR Haze playthrough before the war with Kaiser, and focused on puppeting the Rapids before taking across to them. So, what do I get with the LAT, which is what I'm going to be calling them from now on? Well, first thing to know is they are a tribal nation. Now, they have made some pretty good choices with regards to advisors. I might change a few of them up. Weirdly, they've got a fighter advisor for a tribal nation, which is strange. Decisions, got all the normals. The only real interesting one is the earning our freedom decisions, which will grant me points towards my freedom. Then no intelligence agency, and I don't think I'll be using one. For research, we only have 3 slots. And let me get the bad news out the way first. Everything is basic. No power armor, no robotics, and everything is basic. But we do get the tribal unique technology tree. This is what they've worked on so far. I will be continuing this research, but also adding on the A-team rifle mastery, and going along this infantry training line here to better my troops. The navy will be fairly important along with our focus tree, but I'll only be focusing on light and medium ships, as they are considered screen ships, so I can pump as much of those out as possible. With being a basic tech, these are the only 3 options with the transport glider that you get for an Air Force, so I'm not actually going to be creating Air Force, as all of these are one-time use only, and I have a very small industry. Now, the AI has gone down the conventional warfare and started on the trooper path. I would have preferred to go asymmetric warfare, but unfortunately I am unable to swap across because they have researched the portable radios technology. So I'm going to be forced to stick with trooper warfare, but we'll make it work. And one thing I am going to do, because personally I do not like melee weapons, is I will be going across to basic ballistic, and I'll hopefully be able to unlock the first one of common weaponry through a decision later on. For construction, my focus is preparing for the war with Kaiser. Is my first priority is a set of defenses along the land crossings before I actually start boosting my industry, because I will not be having any Air Force. I am going to be building some static anti-air in the area as well. For production, I start with 11 military factories and 2 dockyards. I'm keeping my templates pretty simple, and I'm just going to be pumping out as many ships as I can. The templates that started with the AIs down the normal, where this was the original template 14 with infantry, and they've just upgraded as they went. And I have used what army experience I had when I tagged over to just change it. So my special forces is standard 20 with support units, very much the same for my infantry. I didn't have enough army experience to actually put my fire team and demo inside my template, so I'm going to play with them as support units. And as this will be mainly a defensive template for my infantry, that will actually work quite nicely. Now I did start with quite a bunch of equipment stored up, so I'm able to train a large amount of units in the beginning. But the thing that we all came here to see is the focus tree. Now I'll go into more depth bit by bit as this video goes along, but in a nutshell, on the left we have industry focus, on the right for military, and down the center is my political. And then this is the unique little section that only the LAT are able to get. This part here does change depending on if the nation you're playing is settler or raider or tribal. So this is the tribal version of it. But I am going to start off with my beginning focuses, the Bear Victorious. Despite our best efforts, the New California Republic has bested us. The Bear Victorious. Despite a long and proud history of independence, our liberty has been taken from us. The NCR has claimed our nation as the newest state in its republic. How do they bring us to our knees? So we have three options we can choose from here. Starved out reduces my monthly population by half for 180 days. Economically crippled adds 5% consumer goods for 180 days. And they deceived us through, or politically deceived, minus 15% political power gain for 180 days as well. Now I would prefer normally to go with consumer goods, but because I only have 5 civilian factories that are actually building for me, and I definitely do not want to lose half my population for half a year, I'm going to go for politically deceived. And the next focus is the Siege of Tumblehome. The Siege of Tumblehome was one of the final battles in our war against the NCR. Clearly we lost. The Siege of Tumblehome. Our last stand took place in the outskirts of the capital, where we showed the NCR what freedom truly means. What was our last great act of defiance? We fought to the last man as one, so minus 500 manpower for plus 5 war support. We fought in the burning rubble of our homes until we were finished. Oscillator down at the bottom here. It gets decimated twice, but I get 250 manpower. Our leader fought their bravest men in single combat. Minus 10 stability for a loss of only 1 manpower. Now I do not want any state to be decimated twice, and I do not want to lose 10% stability. I'm only just over 50% here. So I will sacrifice the 500 men to get a extra 5% boost in war support. Then the NCR Territorial Organization. The NCR Territorial Organization is the arm of the NCR that has established itself in our nation, at least for now. Alright, the NCR Territorial Administration. The NCRTA has been given the task of rebuilding our nation, taking the scattered pieces of our lives and creating a new loyal people. To achieve this, the TA has declared that their first focus will be new industries and jobs for the people, so construction speed plus 7.5%, better access to food and water for the impoverished, resource game efficiency plus 7.5%, and building the state administration, which will give me political power gain plus 0.5 and daily autonomy gain 0.1. Now all these three are very nice options. I would normally like to choose rebuild administration, because in the long term political power gain will be great, as well as the daily autonomy. But as I said previously, because my industry is so small, I think new jobs is the best bet for me to build faster. Now, this is the part of the political focus tree where I'm actually able to change my leadership. But before I do that, I want to just boost my nation a little bit. I'm going to start off with these two here. So starting off with replacement politicians. Some of our old leaders are not exactly in line with our new Californian values. We should encourage them to retire and ensure that loyal ones take their place. And I'm going to get 100 political power, which is great, but even better is my base stability is going to go up by 15%. Alright, I've got some new politicians coming in soon. So now I want to encourage militarization. As a wise man once said, before he was killed in a war, give war a chance. So I'm going to get an extra 500 manpower, so that will give me back what I lost earlier, and increase my base war support by 10%. Now with political power, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to replace this scoundrel that gives me extra capped income and reduces my trade law costs. I'm going to replace that with good-natured. I'll get more research gain efficiency, and my construction speed is going to go up by 5%. Alright, with that completed, it is time to start the process of choosing my new leadership. Now, the LAT does start with the People Ruling Party to mirror the NCR, and you now have 4 choices to go through. So starting on the left, we have the Ruler Party. So this will initially change your ruling party to ruler and give you a popularity boost of 25%, and then it will give you plus 4% to your recruitable population. And then the next one will add onto that 5% division recovery and defense on core territory, and make your training time 10% faster. And lastly, you will unlock enforcer technology and get 5 free units. Now, as well as giving resistance target minus 5% and growth speed of 5%. Now, my gut is telling me that these 5 units will be enforcers due to the fact that you get the enforcer technology. The next one is the intellectual party. So same thing, you get 25% boost. You will then get a choice to get more resources and also a chance to get some free equipment. Then we can get 2 building slots in each state and move on to a boost in getting income and more resources for a year. The so ruler. Okay, this is a bit weird. I don't know if it's ruler, but this is your people chain. So you get a boost, increased boost to popularity of ruler, and your political power gain and war support will increase by 5%. Then we'll get more boosts to political power gain, recruitable population stability, and war support. But that's where the good stuff ends, because after that you will get the Followers of the Apocalypse added, and while this does decrease the production cost for support equipment and raise your population, etc., it drops your war support. And the one following that, even though it gives you free equipment and another 5 free units along with political power, drops your autonomy level by 375. And if you're going for independence, I would not advise that. Lastly, we have the Barons, which is your elite party. So again, 25% boost to popularity. We can then get a boost with new farms to population and use 3% less consumer goods. That will be increased to a total of 5%, and I'll get a 10% boost to my factory output and my production efficiency base. And then lastly, I will lose 5% population, but get another 5% boost to my production efficiency base and factory output. Now, apart from this closer to California, none of these are actually bad. It all depends on personal choice. Because this Rapist territory has a very small amount of building slots, I am going to be going down the intellectual path, which will also tie in with NC Hayes when he takes power. So first of all, expeditionary control. Rather than directly ruling this new territory, we can allow those people to rule themselves directly while we watch over them, providing guidance and assistance. So as I previously mentioned, intellectuals will become a ruling party, and my popularity of my intellectuals will go up by 25%. Alright, that step's been taken, and now I'm ruled by the intellectual party. So next focus is going to be scavenging the battlefield. Our recent conflicts have left vast fields of salvage, scrap and weapons we can repair. It's better we get to them first before scavs and other groups pick them clean. So scavenging expedition resource getting efficiency going up by 15%, extra trade to overlord plus 40%, and civilian industry to overlord plus 10%. This has all got to do with being a puppet. I'm going to get some scrap metal and water and paymaster landing, and then I have 25% chance of getting basic weaponry or 250 common. I will definitely get some support equipment, 25% chance of getting advanced weaponry, again another 375 of support equipment, and I've got a 25% chance of getting some elite, 75 units of elite weaponry, and then another guarantee of 425 support equipment. So that's quite nice. I am currently involved in the war to conquer the divide. Being a unincorporated puppet of the NCR, I did not have an option. I was dragged into the war, so I'm just fighting in it with my standard infantry troops so I can get some bonus, more autonomy points to move closer to getting my freedom. Okay, well this is a bit of a surprise, even though when I changed over I had everything set up for Hayes to take over the NCR. It seems Allgood Murphy has won the presidential election, and since he's a people party, it looks like I might have made a mistake going intellectual, but it doesn't matter much at the end of the day. Alright, with scavenging the battlefield completed, I can now actually move on to the focus tree. I'll leave this focus to get extra building slots later on. Let me do tribal talks. While the tribals of the wasteland may be uncivilized, unhygienic and generally pathetic, they still can listen to reason. By engaging in discussion with the elders of the community, a peaceful transition to modernity can be ensured. And this is going to give me 10% political power gain and increase my recruitable population by 2.5%. Alright, I've finished talking to the elders, so next I'm going to do introducing some modernity. The isolation of the wasteland tribes may be their safety, but it has also meant that they are sorely lacking in modern amenities. An easy way to win support amongst the natives is to start a new infrastructure project to facilitate growth in the region. So I'm going to get an extra 10% boost to my production efficiency cap. Okay, so the LAT is a bit more modern. Now, second last before I can do a new NCR state is dispelling myths. No matter how many roads we build or wells we dig, at the end of the day, the biggest obstacle is enlightening the natives. Is themselves. If we can provide a proper education for the tribals, we can hopefully dispel the most ignorant of their beliefs, and this is going to give me a 5% boost to my research speed. Alright, some myths have been dispelled. Now the last focus I'm going to be doing for now is a new NCR state. Industry is thriving, culture is flowering, people are dying less and generally being more polite. The NCR has a new loyal state, and it's all thanks to the hard-working men and women in the Territorial Administration. So I'm going to get 150 political power, and I'm going to add 250 points onto my autonomy level. And then I'll be able to start the unique part of the focus tree. And with the new NCR state completed, there's a few things I'm going to do now. First of all, I'm going to raise my autonomy from an unincorporated state, where you can see all the buffs and debuffs that I had there, up to an incorporated state. The main one being now is that in general, I give less to the NCR, and I can actually say no to going into war with them. And I believe I can actually declare my own wars if I wanted to. Now, with the rest of this political power, I'm actually going to hire my naval advisor, Wave War Chief, and then next focus, I'm going to be moving on to the unique part of the LAT focus tree. First one I'm going to do is cut the links. The rapids have long been known for carrying travelers across the Colorado River to and from Kaiser's territory. It's past time we put a stop to this. So I'll get patrolling the Colorado, which gives me naval, it's an invasion defense plus 10%, resources to market minus 10, naval intelligence plus 10 on my enemy, and my enemy gets minus 10 naval intelligence on me. Alright, the Colorado's a little bit more in my control now. Next one is new captains. While it may take time for the people here to respect our authority, in the meanwhile we need loyal leadership to keep things together. I'll get new captains, which gives me plus 10% to my screen attack and 10% to my escort efficiency. That's new captains finished. Next one is shared waters. The river waters surrounding this area have long connected the tribes that grew here before the NCR and the Legion took both sides under their control. So these states, I think some of them aren't actually mine, get production of 6 water, and I get a 50% research boost in agriculture. So that's some resources gained by some other units. Now I've got 2 choices here. I'm going to go better armors for my boats, while the crews are experienced. The boats could use some updated equipment, and I'm going to get 4 times 50% research bonuses for naval weapon module technology. So that's some research bonuses I'm going to put to good use to get the best out of my navy. Next is going to be funding patrol vessels. The Legion is stepping up the production of riverboats in preparation for future conflicts, shouldn't we? So I'm going to get 3 naval dockyards and 5 production of energy in Tumblehome. So more dockyards means more ships. Next one is fortify the crossings. Now this one is quite important. A handful of reliable crossings make for likely sources of attack when the Legion comes. We'll hire some hands to build fortifications where we expect the blows to land. And I will be getting a total of 8 coastal forts in 3 of my territory, 3 of my states. Alright, my fortifications are up. Now something I just want to clear is I have been building my own on top of that. I've built 1 bunker at each of the land crossings and 3, they're almost finished, outposts on the same area. I found this is the magic recipe to actually get the AI to only attack if they have an overwhelming advantage, because that collection of 1 bunker and 3 outposts actually gives you a 32% boost to your defense. Let's have a look where the bunkers were given. So 2-2 over there and 2-2 over here. So it's just that one. If I'm able to, I don't know if I will, I'll actually build some coastal bunkers across the entire length of the Colorado. Now next focus, you've got 2 more left, and it will be, doesn't matter which one you take, I think I'm going to go for it all flows downriver. Sooner or later it all flows downriver. This isn't just a saying, it's an accepted fact of life among the locals. And I'm going to get everything flow, so my naval hit chance goes up by 10%, AI modifier focus on navy plus 30%, my visibility is minus 10%, and my naval equipment experience cost goes down by 25%. so I have better chance to hit. My vessels will be harder to actually detect, and upgrading my ships is going to cost a quarter of the amount. And now one more focus left until I can actually finish it, but I have to be at war with the Legion to do that. Los Algodones ones, okay, whatever. Okay, blah blah blah, or Farmville was home to an outsized number of medical services before the war. While most have been picked clean of anything immediately useful by scavengers, some larger and more advanced equipment could be put back to work if we bring in some experts from the boneyard. So I'm going to 100% research branch medical technology, and I'm going to add the technology Stimpack. Now that's quite great, because if we have a look here, Stimpack is a advanced tech which I am unable to actually get. A word of warning that you do have to research healing powder, otherwise you won't create the medical chem support unit. So let's keep that one in mind. Okay, I'm going to have to take a pause on the unique tree now until I'm at war with Kaiser's Legion. I'm going to now focus on my industry. So California Industrial Process, we are now part of the NCR, which means we must adopt their great standards of construction. And I'm going to get 30% research bonuses for that. Okay, so the caravan's now come on time. I am 9 grand in the red. Now, one of the reasons why I went down this is I can get Gunrunners Expansion guns. That's all it says. So I'm going to get an extra arms workshop, which I desperately need, because the NCR has been borrowing 3 of my arms workshops and 2 of my civilian workshops, and I'm also going to get 250 9mm pistols, which is going to be great, because Kaiser is now justifying against, well, the NCR. Okay, so the second battle of Hoover Dam has kicked off. I'll have to wait and see whether I get called into it, just to go through what I've done to prepare my defenses. I have finally finished, just in time, all the bunkers and outposts I want to do across these land crossings here. I've also been able to recruit 17 infantry units, which means that every part of my coastline, harbours and victory points have at least 1 unit on them. And then I have got 3 special forces units that I've currently set up here, because this seems to be where I've faced the biggest threat. There's obviously a naval invasion coming here. Hopefully my navy will be able to stop that naval invasion from happening. But if it does, my special forces are also going to be part of my reaction team. When I do go to war, I do plan on sending an advisor across to the NCR to get more autonomy points. But I'll try to remember to show you that when I do it. Alright, Gunrunners Expansion is finished. Now, the NCR has asked me to go to war with them. So before that, let me do that first. So I'm going to call to arms, and I'm going to accept. So now I'm involved in the war. I will not be taking any of these. Oh, I can take Fight for Freedom. And let me take Fight for Freedom. They'll give my, for 180 days, give my divisions more speed, more attack, more defense, and autonomy progress gain. Hopefully I can still do an attaché. No, I need to get up some more political power, so I'll do that probably at the end of the next focus. And then now that I'm at war, I can do front lines. Just like we expected, this is one of the first places hit by Legion attacks. We'll drive them back or die trying. So I'm going to get mobilization speed plus 20%, reinforce rate plus 5%. I'm going to focus on defense, so my defense is going up by 20% against Kaiser's Legion, and bonus defense against country plus 10%. So that'll take 30 days and make me a bit harder to kill, hopefully. So with front lines established, I've got some boosts against fighting the Legion. Now, bringing back Wellby, while a fierce proponent against the Republic takeover of the Rapids, Shayna Wellby also isn't enthusiastic about the prospect of the Legion taking over. Her expertise and reputation could help immensely were she put back in charge of some ships. And Wellby, just for interest's sake, is the commanding officer of my army as well. Now I've got enough political power, so let me get the attaché. And the attaché is going to share 15% army experience gain. I'll get extra 10% war support and 0.5 daily autonomy gain as long as I keep this maintained. Okay, Shayna Wellby requests a vessel. With conflict underway against Kaiser's Legion, even many of those who fought against our takeover of the Rapids are attempting to take up the fight against invading forces. Chief amongst them is Shayna Wellby, previously allowed to walk away from the position of Grand Captain in return for laying down arms. A skilled and respected captain, her help could swing the fighting on the river. However, more than a few hardliners in the administration would rather never see her on a military vessel. So we have three choices. Reinstate her as captain, so I should become a naval commander and I get extra 5% stability. Bring her as an expert teaching others, and we add Grand Captain of the Rapids, which gives me extra 4% recruitable population, AR focus on Navy plus 50%, starting maneuvering skill of new Navy leaders plus 1, or reject the request. The NCR doesn't need troublemakers right now. Political power 100. Okay, I don't need political power right now. I wonder what his stats are as a naval commander, because right now I've lost half my fleet already against Kaiser and his buddies. I'm actually going to see this, even if I just get the stability, will be good. So let's say reinstate as a captain, and let's see. Okay, nothing came through. Then you should take on the next focus, real shipbuilding. Okay, in the name of the war effort, we've been given the material resources to invest in dry docks and sufficient shipbuilding machinery from the coast. So now extra resources and intermediate naval tech, which is great. That's going to take me 60 days to do. So real shipbuilding is completed, and I've got my intermediate naval tech, so I'll start researching that as soon as I get an open slot. Now I did not receive any naval commander by the name of was it Shelby or whatever. So, but at least I got the 5% war support, which is helping. Sorry, stability, not war support. So let me do the last one here, estuary. All things said, even the old world, even the conflicts, even the rivers. Okay, add all rivers in, so my naval dockyard output is going to go up by 10%. I need that because my navy has been totaled. Daily autonomy gain plus 0.3. Another focus on navy, and energy cell gain per energy is plus 20%. This is the one I'm really looking for here, is the autonomy progress gain and the dockyard output. Alright, so that is the unique part of the focus tree for the Rapids completed. Now I could, I suppose, end things here. But even though my air force is non-existent and my logistics are getting slaughtered by enemy airstrikes and my navy has been completely obliterated, my army is holding quite strong. I've repelled multiple naval invasions. Let me just see what they can do here in the Mojave. Hopefully they can knock these guys out. I'm not moving any of my troops off this line because we all know what happens if the soft underbelly of California gets taken out by the Legion. It's just a free-for-all. I'm actually going to carry on, and I'm going to move across to this army part of the tree. I want to get these bonuses for my special forces equipment. So starting off within the army, no description, I'm going to get a 50% bonus for land doctrine and one off-map arms workshop. Okay, making some progress for my military. Next will be best of the best. You have a choice here. You can either go for the enforcer technology, or you can go for special forces. I'm not using enforcers, so I'm going to be using going for the special forces one, best of the best. Again, no description, but 35% research bonuses for special forces equipment. And I was checking some things out, and I noticed that the hangdogs are still in the war here, and the reason why is that Lanius got dragged into the fight, so the Iron Alliance and Lanius are on their way out, and the hangdogs looks like they're going to be coming in from the east, so hopefully dragging some people off this conflict here so we can make some progress. So with this, I'm going to get my better equipment for my military. I think it's high time I move across here to the industrial side. I need to build things faster than I currently am, so building the future. Enough of us living in our broken homes. The NCR will build housing worthy of a free man. So I'm going to get extra civilian workshop and 25% research bonus for industry technology. So that's one civilian workshop added into the mix. Let's get 2 more. Home for Democracy. Our government needed to build a new building for them. Many of the work to build houses for the people is not yet finished, but it seems to them that this is more important. Another 2 civilian workshops. And the war has just gotten a bit bigger. Tucson decided to go to war against Genta de Sol and has called Kaiser's Legion into it. Now Mojave Territories is losing some ground up here in the north. Hope they can hold out. We're doing quite fine here ourselves. In fact, there's another naval invasion about to land here somewhere. And that's 2 more civilian factories added on. Now, as much as I would love to finish this off and get another 2, I am getting desperately short of manpower, so I'm going to go across to improving our diets. So monthly population is going to go up by 4%, and my division coverage go up by 5%. Now, unfortunately, the hangdogs, to my great surprise, fell to the combined works of the Iron Alliance and Lanius' cohort. Iron Alliance did most of the work, but as I like to say, it's not all doom and gloom, because Genta de Sol has called in the entire Rio Pact to take on the Legion Azor, so they are now hopefully in some dire straits. No, your eyes aren't actually deceiving you. I have helped the NCR advance across the river. For some unknown reason, I'll never understand the AI, even though they've got all this going on down here in the south, as well as taking on us here in the west. Lanius decided to go and declare war on the Iron Alliance. I know it must be because they've gotten more territory than what they normally get, but now they are fighting a war on 3 fronts. I don't care how strong you are, that's going to be a bad day for you. But next focus, I'm going to go for Trials of Our Warriors. What would our warriors be if we did not put them to the test? So I'm going to get 2% extra speed to my divisions, and my self-consumption is going to go down by 5%. Not really necessary, I'm not using energy weapons, but the speed will be very much welcome. Alright, my warriors are facing their trials now for expanding our forces. We must expand our military might if we are to prove ourselves to the NCR. And very simply, just going to get an extra 2% onto my recruitable population. And so this is how the war's going. The Iron Alliance, even though they are my enemy, for some reason are doing very nicely fighting against Linnaeus. NCR has broken through here in the north and is still defending very well these river crossings. I'm still doing my bit by holding the belly nice and safe. So expanding our forces is done. I'm not going to go down this line because this first one takes away 400 of my manpower and I cannot do that right now. So instead I'm going to do this line here, starting with New Patriots. No description. New Patriots grants division trading time minus 5% and increases my population by another 2%. Okay, time for some bad news, good news, and then some great news. The bad news is that at some point the NCR has given me control of this territory, so now I have a resistance problem to take care of. So to counter that, I have finally started my intelligence agency so I can get an operative to bring down resistance. And knowing that I am low on weapons, I'm now going to do focus new weapon standards. I'm going to get 1,000 units of 9mm pistols, which will help me keep my troops stocked up. I'm just using the standard militia template. Then for some good news, the NCR have landed their second attempt at a naval invasion here just to the northeast of me. I think this one's actually going to stick. And then Linnaeus and his cohort are all but done for here. Although weirdly, the Iron Alliance is both my ally and my enemy, if we have a look here. So that's something quite different. And then on to the great news. I have discovered a new way to gain your freedom as a puppet. Now normally you can send convoys to lower a puppet's autonomy to annex them. I have discovered not so long ago, and I'm kicking myself for not knowing this sooner, that you can actually do the exact same as a puppet. So I can make 4 convoys a month, since I've put almost all my dockyards to work on that. So I'm now going to be sending the NCR 4 convoy ships every month, and I will be gaining an extra 40 points towards my freedom, because so far with all the work that I've done being at war, I'm only a quarter of the way there, despite all my fighting, all my focuses, and all the decisions I've taken. And this is why I like to take ballistic or energy weaponry over melee. I have now got the decision, because the 1st of January 2281, to get common ballistic weaponry at a cost of 60 army experience, which I've been saving up. So in 120 days I'm going to unlock some common weaponry for my soldiers. So that's 1,000 weapons added to my cause, and I have got my operative already in action here in Yuma. Now I'm running short of some special forces equipment, so I'm going to do some ranger training. Still no description. I'm going to get 500 units of pioneer kit added to my stockpile. Okay, that's my logistical concerns taken care of in the meantime. So I'm going to jump across back to the logistics side of things, and I'm going to get Yes, let me get new homes for the common folk. Finally, it's finished. We couldn't have done it much earlier, but anyways, yes, anyways, I was doing something else, so I'll get 3 building slots. 2 of them will be full with civilian workshops, and I'll get a research bonus for anything in the industry technology tree, which will be nice. And my common weaponry is unlocked, so let me start constructing what looks like the good old-fashioned battle rifle for all my troops. Now that I've completed this line in the branch, I'm going to go transfer of experience because I want to move on to this decision here. So experienced workers are hard to find. Let's transfer them over to another section of the industry, and I'm going to 40% research bonuses again for any industry technology. So now for the big choice for your industry, you can either choose Californian mining, which will give you 7 of each resource in Paymaster Landing, California building, which will give you 4 civilian workshops, Californian shooting, which will give you 4 arms workshops, or Californian swimming, which will give you 2 naval dockyards and 2 additional building slots. Now this choice will be purely personal, depending on who you are. In my case, I have some empty slots for buildings. I haven't done any of these for resources. I've still got 2 more to get arms workshops, and because I have been watching, sending convoys is being incredibly successful. I've already, in the last couple of months of doing it, I've gotten 200 points for my autonomy just from lend-leasing these ships. So I'm going to go for Californian swimming so I can produce even more convoy ships. So that's 4 extra dockyards which I'm going to be putting onto my production on convoy ships, and I will adjust my lend-lease once they start producing. And I've actually won my first ever naval victory against Kaiser for the loss of 4 light ships, and that one battle got me well over 200 Navy experience all in one go. So I'm actually going to spend some of that just upgrading these 2 trees. This one I'm leaving alone because I'm not using heavy ships. 1 more should be enough. Yes, okay, I'll leave it like there for now. Now things are going actually quite well for us, even though I'm still locked in a deadlock here, only having taken Yuma. NCR and Mojave have pushed, almost taken Flagstaff. Gentle Assault making good progress against Tucson, as are the rest of the Rio Pact here. Iron Lines is sitting over there. But back to business. I need some more free equipment before I start manufacturing. Since they all take the same time, I'm first going to go for Followers Field Hospitals. No description. 750 units of common weaponry is going to be added to my stockpile now. More guns is always good. Now let me do Birth of Legends. This is going to give me 500 units of recon armor for my special forces, which I also need quite dearly. And it's time to raise my autonomy level. So I'm now going to move from an unincorporated territory into a protected state. So all the industry and trade and everything else I give to the NCR is going to go down by a whopping, ranges between 50 all the way down to 15%. I'll take that. Our autonomy may soon be lowered. I really hope not. And okay, quite soon I can carry on to becoming a free state. What I've also done is I've taken a bit of a risk. I have taken all my troops of 1st Battalion, added an army group order. I'm going to be trying to attack from North Phoenix down here into Tucson, so I can do a bit of a sandwich maneuver, as I just do not seem to be making any progress here, and neither are the NCR, who have launched naval invasions here and here. So I'm going to try a different method. So there's now 500 units of special forces equipment. Now I did receive quite a or actually all my factories back, I think, from the NCR, and that has given me insufficient resources of 2 scrap metal. So as much as I'd like to continue down this side of the tree, I think it's important move across here, and I organize new salvage teams. With NCR support, we can assemble better teams to dismantle pre-war structures. This is going to give me the resources I need here in Octilio. So it looks like all good. Murphy's been hard at work. The NCR Brotherhood are now engaged in peace talks, so they don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, that takes care of my resources problem. Now I want to head back to this side, and I am in desperate need of manpower. This is the lowest I've gotten so far. So to serve the homeland, no description, guaranteed 750 manpower. Don't need the base war support right now, but if I was low on it, that would be quite nice. So there's no surprise that manpower is going to help. It's more than doubled what I had previously. Now I want to carry on down this path to get a bit more manpower. We won't go quietly. Okay, NCR shared military recruitment 3 description. Bit of a bug there, but I'm going to get minus 5% to my training time and recruitable population +2. And the sandwich tactic is paying off. They obviously don't have any spare units to try and naval invade me, so I'm going to squeeze these guys like a freaking I don't know what. Okay, that is the population sorted out. The only thing I can do more is down here on this tree, but I'm not doing that yet. What I need to do now is get more factories. So gunners outposts, no description, 2 off-map arms workshops, and we need to finish this war off quickly. Thankfully, Kaiser's Legion has capitulated. 2 Sons not far away, really busy on reservation, and Navarro 2%. I'm actually quite proud of myself for doing 10% of the war effort. And we need to make a move on, because the Sons of Karga are becoming very huge and powerful, and they are starting their war declaration against the NCR. So we need to do what we can to pull back and fight the next fight. And there we go, the Treaty of Flagstaff is over. The war with the Legion is completed. Still have a war against Alliance and Sons of Karga. Now I've had a look, and since I've still got a handful of focuses left to do, I might as well finish this up as I work towards my freedom. So I am going to get involved in fighting the Sons of Karga, because frankly there's not much I can do against the Iron Alliance right now. So another war continues. Okay, I'm going to put those arms factories to work, sorry. Let me just finish up this side of things, and I'm going to go for huge deal with the gunrunners. So I'm going to lose 50,000 bottle caps, but I'm going to get 500 units of advanced weaponry. So that will be nice. And I have opted just to take the nearest boarding crossing to my territory, and I've put my objective here because I figured this is the area they started, so they have the most cores here, and this will probably be the center of their production. So if I can take this out, it'll hopefully help them quite a bit, or help the NCR quite a bit. Well, it's a well-known fact that the NCR AI is terrible at defending, so I've had to pull 1st Battalion off the line here to defend them coming, the Sons of Coral coming down south, got them pushing up this way. They're still not going good, actually, anywhere north of me. So, hope I haven't made a mistake in taking part in this, but I don't really have much of a choice. Now, 2 more, I think, until we're done here. Protect the capital and raise the garrison. So, protect the capital first. So, Tumblehome is going to get a total of 3 bunkers somewhere. Well, this is really not going well. So, you know what? To hell with it. I'm actually going to pull my troops back because I've got no idea where the NCR people are. And I am, for the first time, seriously in the red for basically all my equipment. So I'm going to pull my troops back, set up my defensive line, and just wait for me to finish this focus tree. Alright, that's more defenses set up. Now, last one here, let me get 4 free units, which I'm probably going to need. NCR shared raising a garrison description. Okay, another little bug. No worries. Let's get my guys back home. Okay, let's look at these units that I've been given. NCR Garrison. Okay. Combat width of 16. I don't know if it's actually worth keeping. I could probably make better use of the manpower and equipment for my own template. So that's actually what I'm going to do. Because I'm not going to gain 800 manpower, 160 portable radios, and 800 equipment, which I can definitely use. So yes, we're going to do that. Now, next, as we still work towards our freedom, more arms workshops would be nice. And this is, I'm not going to scavenge these vehicles right now. Okay, well, I guess that answers that question. Can I survive as a puppet and gain my freedom? I believe I can, but unfortunately my master nation could not. So this is game over. I've been defeated. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.